Not a Hero is an action side-scroller created by Roll7, the developers behind the critically acclaimed Oli Oli. Not a Hero is a game about Bunnylord, a time-travelling anthropomorphic rabbit from the future, and his campaign to become mayor of an unknown city, otherwise the world will be destroyed, most likely by Bunnylord himself. Bunnylord hires Steve, a professional assassin, to help him clean up crime in the city by murdering pretty much anybody that lives there. Not a Hero is a 2D retro-style game with 16-bit graphics and bit crush music, with a heavy focus on fast-paced corridor shooting with a unique cover system and a myriad of different characters, each with their own particular strengths and weaknesses. The gameplay is easily the best part of the game. The weapons, for the most part, work well in any fight, the executions are more than just for style points, and the cover system works like a dream. When you press the slide button, your character, believe it or not, will begin to slide and will take cover behind pretty much anything. This alleviates the need to hunt for cover during a fight, allowing you to focus on how exactly you're going to empty this room full of goons. However, cover isn't an I win sort of scenario, as while enemies cannot harm you in cover, they will move towards you and if they get too close, will knock you out of cover, leaving you very vulnerable. Enemies can be knocked down through a few different means, the main one being the slide tackle. If you collide with an enemy in a slide, you knock them down, where you can execute them for a small health restore and in some cases a very rapid kill that can be chained into further kills. The slide isn't a perfect tactic however, as some enemies are immune to tackles, either dodging them or forcing you to engage at range, while throwing you back, dealing massive damage and leaving you very vulnerable. As well, you aren't immune to harm during an execution, so in bigger fights it's more useful to use the tackle to get out of a bad position or knock down a particularly annoying enemy, so you can focus on the rest while they're down. The characters are very diverse in their abilities. Steve,
Oi, hit that button, yeah? I am an hero.
your starting character, states himself that he's no frills, just business, and has no particular strengths or weaknesses, while other characters have a strong point, such as Samantha,
Wales? Yes, it's a real place!
who has a fast reload and is able to move while shooting, but also weak points. Looking at Samantha again, she moves very slowly and has a small clip size. In the case of other characters, there's Mike,
Functioning alcoholic.
who has fast and rapid movement and executions, but only has a short-range shotgun with 2 shots. Another character is Jesus, who has a large clip and moves while executing, which gives a lot of momentum to his combat style, but is very inaccurate and has a long execution animation. There is bound to be a character that fits how you want to play, but sometimes the game won't allow for that, which comes to my first big gripe. The level design is very mediocre, with it becoming steadily worse as the game goes on, such as sections where you have to pick between 2 directions, one which kills you and the other which lets you progress, with minimal indication as to which one is which. This is amplified by some of the newer enemies. For example, in the third area of the game, a sushi empire laden with modern day ninjas has an enemy type that will rush you with a sword and instantly kill you if they get too close. This discounts a number of characters, as you will either need a large ammo clip or be able to deal with multiple enemies at once, as reloading is a death wish against them, as they'll hit you from behind cover. Characters like Samantha and Steve have no way to deal with them unless you waste an entire clip on one of them, leaving you vulnerable to other enemies. As well, they can't be knocked down by slides, so execution-based characters like Mike, and to a lesser extent Jesus, are at a significant disadvantage. One of the selling points of the game, the humour, falls completely flat. The dialogue is slow and breaks up the flow of the game, to the point where I was skipping it just to get back to the game, which leaves you high and dry as to what you need to do in the next level, as the cutscenes explain it all. The game tries really hard to be out there and wacky with its humour, and completely fails at doing so, and actually neared obnoxious towards the end of the game. However, the assassins are well voiced and actually have some very funny lines, but even they get boring after a while, when you realise that they have a very limited speech bank and just repeat the same thing over and over again when they kill a room full of enemies. As well, the game completely lacks a checkpoint system, which is completely fine for the shorter, earlier levels, but there are some incredibly long levels towards the end, and a single slip-up will force you to completely redo the level, meaning you have to restart anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes worth of gameplay, which becomes especially frustrating during the game's surprise sections, such as a SWAT team attacking you at a level's end and forcing you to double back through the rest of the level, which, while a fun mix-up, is unexpected if you're not prepared, having saved some of the special weapons, will probably kill you and force you to restart. The soundtrack, while good in places, is nothing really to write home about. It has a few good tracks, but for the most part are particularly unimpressive. Not a Hero has a variety of artists taking the idea of a Bit Crush song from a 16-bit SNES era and putting a more modern twist on it. Overall, I enjoyed Not a Hero at the start. It was fun, fast, and had me in a just one more level mentality. The further I got into the game though, the cracks started to really show, to the point where it began to feel like a chore to play and even became frustrating at points, which is surprising given its very enjoyable gameplay. I recommend picking this game up if it's cheap during a Steam or a GOG sale, but at the current price of almost $17 in Australian currency, I can't say it's worth the price.
For you.